Oh, yeah, it's ready. It's time. It's time. It's time. Are you ready for the big picture? Because tonight we're going to cover some stuff about AI that is crazy. And I'm telling you, we may have passed the point of no return. Sandy's with us tonight. She'll be joining us in a few minutes. Let's go. It's time for the big picture live. Come on. All right, it is the Big Picture Live Monday night. You know what time it is. It's time to get busy with the news. Go ahead and load it up. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. I think it's time to bring in the queen, y'all. She's feeling good tonight. Doing better and better and better. There she is. Yes,
Yay!
yes.
Excited to be back for one more week.
Yes, the crowd is always going wild for you, babe. So let's do it real quick. We ain't going to spend a whole lot of time here. People want to know, how's your progress?
Amazing progress. Number one, I thank you for your prayers and well wishes and kind words. I wish that I could stick my knee up to where the camera could see it because it is bending.
Yes. Yes, we have seen dramatic improvement.
Dramatic improvement, and
So-
I give all the glory to God.
Yes.
It's just amazing.
Yes, so thank you for your prayers. And so we got a lot of ground to cover tonight. And before we go any further, you know what we're going to ask you to do. Smash that like button. Smash
Yes.
it, smash it, smash it. Go ahead and get it out of the way. Next time you hear me say that later on the show, you'll be like, I already done that. I got you. I got you. And if you are following us on one of the other platforms, maybe you're following us over on Rumble. Maybe you're following us on X. That's the only place you can watch us tonight is Rumble, X, and YouTube. So join us over there. And if you haven't already subscribed on Rumble, just go there at rumble.com/Larry Ragland. We'd appreciate it. All right, so it's time to get into the news. And we
Yes.
always like to lead with breaking news of the day. And most of you already know this, that a helicopter crash went down. An Iranian president, foreign minister also, and two others were killed in a helicopter crash. It remains unclear what caused the crash. And just as I was very suspicious of what would happen coming out of this, they're already blaming Israel. Israel is saying emphatically they had nothing to do with it. And, but it's looking more and more like it. They're saying mechanical failure, but many people are saying that it looks like some kind of sabotage, and maybe even sabotage from within the Iranian nation itself.
Wow.
So this is the guy that was killed along with the foreign minister. It says that Iranian state media reported on May 20th that President Ebrahim Raisi, the country's foreign minister, and several other Iranian officials died in a helicopter crash in the northwestern part of the country. Iran's supreme leader has also confirmed the deaths. Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei, which I guess they all changed their name to that because he was named Ayatollah Khamenei when we first got married. So
More of a title than a
yeah.
than a
I think they take it on like the Pope changes their name or something like that. I don't know, but who holds ultimate power in Iran said on social media platform X, formerly known as Twitter, that he had received the bitter news of the martyrdom. Listen to the words. Of Mr. Raisi and his entourage.
Never let a crisis get away, right?
Exactly. The bitter tragedy took place while he was serving the people.
We're going to take these lemons and make some lemonade.
Yeah. So I know you've had a busy day today.
Yes, another fabulous ladies' lunch.
Yes.
Love all my SRC women. And we had a great time and a wonderful speaker, and it was great.
Awesome. Well, so what I was leading at is you had a busy day, so I don't know how much time you've had to.
I've had no time.
No time. Okay.
I
So
hit the ground running. I did a lot of things to get ready for today. Went to physical therapy, had ladies' lunch in ministry, crashed for a few minutes, and got up and got ready
okay.
to come in here.
Well, all right. Well, I was going to ask your opinion on what you thought about the helicopter crash, but you hadn't had time to think about that. So.
Well, just what I've heard. This is serious. This is a big news story, but they didn't waste a second. This has been talked about and drawn out. And if you follow Amir Tsarfati, you're going to get an update from him about every 90 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
My phone is constantly blowing up with updates and news and pictures and news clips. So, yeah, this is a big deal, and we're, tossing blame around, and we're claiming martyrdom. Are you concerned at all about any instability in this country, even before this crash?
Yeah, well, right now I'm concerned about the fact that I don't have a mouse that works.
Right now he's concerned about the mouse not working.
But yeah, I mean, this is just typical right here. The devil is a liar.
Do I need to get some batteries?
No, it ain't the batteries. Okay. But yeah, I am very concerned. And if you watched the media, you saw that some leaked video that they were doing fireworks in Tehran, and there were posts of women making toast to each other, and so I think the majority of the Iranian people don't want to have anything to do with them.
Right. Okay. So we kind of suspect that about the citizens and the people, but what about inside the government? Do you think there's any?
I do.
Volatility, disagreement.
I think it could be very likely that that there was something done from within there. But the problem is he just gets replaced by someone that's just as radical as him.
Sure, of course.
So, all right. So we're gonna have to you're gonna have to talk while I do some adjustments here.
Okay. So.
Let's talk about the king. Let me put this up here, and I want to get your comments on this while I'm working on this mouse right here in real time. The devil is a lie. While this is going on, it was breaking. Some people were reporting that the king of Saudi Arabia had actually died. And I thought how amazing that would be globally in the power structure of the Middle East, that if the president of Iran and the king of Saudi Arabia died in the same day. But you know how information is over there. You don't know if it's true or not, and you don't know if saying that he's alive is true or not. But it did come out on the same day that the king of Saudi Arabia is receiving treatment for lung infection, serious pneumonia. Saudi Arabia's King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, 88. I think I nailed it. I think I nailed it. Will receive medical treatment for a lung infection, according to a news report from the country's official news agency. Now, what I want to talk about, and you just give me your comments while I'm trying to get this mouse to work, is, Standeo and many others, what they talk about all the time is his son. So if something was to happen to the king of Saudi Arabia during this time, then the son would become the
Mohammed
king.
bin Salman is definitely his son.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Certainly. I mean, my goodness, he's been hard at it, working with not just relationships, but what he's doing in that country, the construction projects, if you want to put it that way, all the infrastructure that he's building, this lined city, and he does not. He's not kind to those who cross him the wrong way.
That's true.
Remember the reporter from about 4 or 5 years ago that was found
dissolved,
cut into pieces. So it's
dissolved. Yeah.
It's believed that he orchestrated that.
And they had audio of it happening, and nothing happened to him. So yeah, and Standeo himself, which will be coming up this week, this Thursday night, it's time for Stan, and I'm going to ask him about this. This is going to be a big one for him, because not only are we going to talk about the son with Stan, but his thoughts, he has always believed that that his son, what's his name again? I can't ever say his name right.
Musama bin
the son.
I just said it.
What's his abbreviations?
MBS.
MBS, yeah. Bin Salman.
Bin Salman.
He is the Antichrist. He believes he's the Antichrist. Well,
yes.
I don't know if he's Antichrist or not.
He has believed that for, I don't know, several years.
Yeah, exactly.
And quite frankly, he seems like a pretty good candidate.
Well, you know what? He is the main, him and Trump's son-in-law,
Jared Kushner.
Jared Kushner are the main people negotiating the Abrahamic Accords.
Yes.
And with Israel, while all this is going on, it's still being negotiated. And there are an Arab coalition that is being built with Saudi Arabia at the head of it to compete with NATO, and MBS, the son, is leading this.
Yes.
So, I mean, and that's from a prince perspective.
Right.
What kind of power does he have? You know, if we've heard Mike from around the world on Paul's show say when King Charles became king,
Right.
in the world of royalty, there's certain things that can only be done by a king. Now I know his father is a king, but when he becomes the king,
Exactly.
you know, whatever kind of ideas he's had as a prince,
Right.
he gets to instigate. So I believe that this is only the beginning of chaos in the Middle East.
Well, you were talking about the Abrahamic Accords, and we know all the business dealings he has in his own country and all the deals and development he has going. But we also believe that he and Jared Kushner are trying to get some development going in Gaza.
Yep.
And so he has his hands in a lot of things. Of course, there are many wealthy investors that are a part of his different developments, but, you know, he's getting around.
Yeah, he is.
He's making the connections.
So y'all, I'm telling you this, no matter what you hear if you hear on the media that some kind of agreement has been made and peace is coming to the Middle East, let me just tell you something. The Bible says when they say peace and safety, sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travaileth upon a woman. And I believe it's just beginning.
Doesn't Mike from around the world say that Saudi Arabia is going to be destroyed? I mean, we know Damascus.
Yeah,
in the Bible
it
tells
says that,
us.
yes, it will be
but does
ruinous
he
heat.
not also talk about Saudi Arabia?
He does, and you know, it's not a channel all about Mike from around the world because I love him, but that don't necessarily mean I got to agree with everything he says.
No, but we
Anybody
do
else.
take his opinions and his intelligence reports. We do take them into consideration. But I believe I've heard him say Saudi Arabia is going to be destroyed.
Wow. Well, that's their country, but there's a lot of stuff going on in our country.
Yes.
So let's go ahead. We don't get political a lot here, but we these are top headlines, so we need to cover them because I believe these affect the future of our country. Trump's hush money trial is nearing an end, and in fact, today the defense rested today, and an end after a day of heated Cohen cross-examination. Former President Donald Trump, of course, always comes out, stands right there, and addresses the media. By this time next week, Donald Trump could be a convicted felon or a newly acquitted man declaring complete and total exoneration. His Manhattan trial on charges for concealing a 2016 hush money scheme is suddenly hurtling towards a conclusion, with Justice Juan Merkin encouraging attorneys to prepare for closing arguments as soon as Tuesday, tomorrow. He could then instruct jurors on legal matters before sending them to the deliberate. For now, Trump's former mixer, Michael Cohen, the most important and likely final witness for the prosecution, remains on the stand after 3 full days of testimony. After a scheduled day off on Friday, Cohen will return on Monday morning when Trump's defense team expects to complete a cross-examination that has been punishing, if uneven. And then before we comment, we go here. He'd already been caught in a lie. He's already a convicted felon and a convicted liar for lying under oath.
But he saved some fireworks for the very end, right?
Yeah, but not intentionally. He didn't save them. The defense attorneys did.
True.
Because he got up there and he lied. They caught him in the lie. He had to admit to the lie. This is a couple of days ago. And today, their star witness openly admitted to a crime that neither his attorneys or Trump's attorneys even knew that he did. He admitted to stealing tens of thousands of dollars from Donald Trump while on the stand. And so the prosecution attorneys and the defense attorneys had no idea that Michael Cohen had stolen this money. And if you needed a worse day for the prosecution, you got it today because, I mean, look, let's just tell it like it is. This is in New York. This is a hand-picked jury to convict Donald Trump. This attorney general ran on the platform, elect me, put me in the office, and I will put Donald Trump in jail. So this was pre-made conviction. But as you know, all you got to have is one juror that refuses to convict and becomes a hung jury, and they have to retry it or throw it out or maybe even acquittal. I mean, I think one of the most shocking things that we've ever experienced politically, if they was to come back in New York in this trial and just acquit him, I personally believe that he's going to get some kind of lower charges, because I think there's like 40-something charges against him. So it's going to be hard for me to believe they're going to wipe all them out. But I think there's serious, reasonable doubt has been put in there because of their star witness. So probably my prediction is they're going to probably convict him on a few of the misdemeanor accounts so they can say they got him for something. But the big ones, that was a felony, I believe Michael Cohen has crushed that. If they do convict unanimous jury to convict Donald Trump of all the counts, especially the felony, I don't care whether you're a Republican or Democrat, I don't care how you feel about Donald Trump, it's one of the biggest miscarriages of justice in our lifetime, because there is no evidence. They have presented no evidence to tie him to the crime, and they've not even really identified a crime yet to even charge him with. But, I know you don't like to talk about this subject, but I do want to get your opinion.
Well, it's just laughable. I mean, I don't know if you want to use the phrase kangaroo court, but my goodness.
It is.
This is ridiculous. And even when this one is over, what next?
Right.
What's coming down the pike after once we wrap this thing up put a bow on it? What next?
Well, they got three other courtrooms waiting on it between now and November. So who knows if that's going to happen or not? But I'll just tell you, this is just an insane trial, and I just don't know what's going to happen. And look, in my opinion, if he is convicted, he's the next president of the United States. I mean, I just even with all the things they're going to try to do to stop that from happening, I think it turns people who was never going to vote for him to saying, you know what, there is no way that should have happened, and I'm going to vote for him. I think probably politically the best thing that could happen to him is to be convicted, because I believe he'll become the president. And who knows? Some people say he'll pardon himself.
You may be right, but I think it's a wait and see at this point. I think you underestimate the hate that some people have.
No. Yeah, there's a lot of hate, y'all. I'm talking about demonic hate. Yeah. All right, so let's move on. You doing okay?
Doing good.
All right. The international court system that supposedly has endowed themselves with power to arrest anybody in the world, prosecutor gave an interview, and he told what's her name?
I did not even recognize her with this new hairstyle, but is that not Christiane Amanpour?
Yeah, that's who that is, yeah.
Yeah.
I can never say her name, but that's
She's been with us a long time.
Yeah, and she's a bleeding liberal. Has now told her in an interview that he is going to issue an arrest warrant for war crimes against Netanyahu and the leader of Hamas, Sinwar, over crimes of the October 7th in Gaza war that is going on. The International Criminal Court is seeking arrest warrants for Hamas leader in Gaza, Yahya Sinwar, and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on charges of war crimes and crimes against humanity over the October 7th attacks on Israel and the subsequent war in Gaza. The court's prosecutor told CNN's Christiane Amanpour in an exclusive interview on Monday. This article just goes on and it explains why they're doing what they're doing. It says the warrants against the Israeli politician marks the first time the ICC has targeted the top leader of a close ally of the United States. The decision puts Netanyahu in the company of Russian President Vladimir Putin, for whom the ICC issued an arrest warrant over the Moscow war in Ukraine, and the Libyan strongman Muammar Gaddafi, from facing arrest warrant for alleged crimes against humanity at the time of his capture and killing in October 2011. So you're talking about Netanyahu now is in the company of Putin, Gaddafi, and many other horrible war crime people. Now, some people watching this show may believe that they have committed war crimes. But the reality is this, we've covered this extensively. This word genocide, somebody needs to look that word up and understand the definition of it. If it's a genocide, you don't drop flyers and you do not tell people, get out of the way, all the women and children leave. Right. We're trying to go after this guy, these people, and we're going to take you down this building. Please get out of the building. That's not what genocide is. Genocide is you just wipe them out, no matter men, women, and children. and that's not what's happening. So this, in my opinion, this is just another political something, just more anti-Semitism, really.
Right. Well, they're just lining up with everybody else in the world that hates them, wants to hurt them, wants to see them go away. So they're just taking their 15 seconds.
Yeah. And you look at these two men. These two men are not the same.
No.
No matter what you feel about Benjamin Netanyahu, let's not forget the images that you were permitted to see. You have not seen the images that many people have seen from October 7th, the inside people. I don't think I could handle it either. I did see a couple of them that Amir Safadi shared, and I was like, okay, thank you, Amir, but no more. I can't see this anymore. And I guess I needed to see it for the gravity. But what this man on the left of your screen commissioned his people to do is not on the same level as what this other one has committed his people to do. Now, I know the numbers are much greater from what Israel, the lives that have been lost from Palestinians versus the number that was lost on October 7th. But it launched a war. And ladies and gentlemen, when you're in a war, it's different than a spot-on-spot, eye for an eye terrorist attack. This is a war now. So when they crossed over into Israel on October 7th, they declared war on Israel, and Israel retaliated in war. And when you're in war, these kind of things happen.
And now what are we in, the 8th month?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And you remember that happened right after our camp meeting, our conference.
Yes.
It was like the day after it ended. And so, we got another one coming up, and that's just the time of the year when things are, and you hear about the October surprise that happens before American elections. That was October of last year.
Yep.
What is October of this year going to look like? I mean, there's no way you're going to make me believe that there's not going to be some catastrophic attempts, at least attempts to catastrophic events that are happening right before the election to try to sway it one way or the other.
Right.
It's going to be crazy.
I think I was wrong. I think it's actually 7 months, but October is often a dicey time of year.
Yes.
Usually for political things, but that war starting was terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah, it was. So, let's just speaking of the war over there, the U.S. Navy warships in the Red Sea are saying that they are fighting off missiles from the Houthi rebels that are new. You got to pay attention to the wording of these articles, y'all.
Yes.
I mean, you just read right over them and you just miss the importance of the word. New to combat. U.S. Navy are saying they are facing missiles that are new to combat, that are way faster than anything else. An American destroyer captain has said. This is crazy. This is very important information that you're not going to get in many places.
No.
U.S. Navy warships operating in the Red Sea have been intercepting deadly ballistic missiles that are, quote, way faster than anything else, according to the commanding officer of an American destroyer that has shot them down. Anti-ship ballistic missiles are a dangerous weapon that no military had ever faced in combat until recently, when the Houthis started firing them into key Middle Eastern waterways late last year as part of their ongoing attacks on international shipping lanes. Since then, the Iran-backed rebels have fired dozens of anti-ship ballistic missiles into the Red Sea in the Gulf of Aden. U.S. warships in the region have intercepted these missiles on numerous occasions. Though some of the weapons have struck commercial vessels, civilians were killed during an attack in March. An anti-ship ballistic missile is just way faster than anything else, Commander Jeremy Robinson, captain of the guided missile destroyer USS Carney, told reporters during a meeting event on Monday. He said that while the missiles are a challenge, we have certain capabilities to detect stuff like that. But you could ask yourself, I think it's very obvious where they're getting these. The Houthi rebels are not making these missiles.
No.
They don't have the technology there. So they're getting them from Iran and they're getting them from Russia.
That was my first guess, if I had to guess. And, they're probably, I don't think this article conveyed what the fear and the concern that they actually have. I think it's probably very concerning and upsetting. I mean, can you imagine being on one of those vessels, on one of those ships, being a soldier?
No.
The stress that they must be experiencing.
Article goes on to say, Commander Robinson said the sailors work very quickly to engage these missiles because they must, from start to finish, the complex process of detecting a threat, making sure it's real, sorting the trajectory, and engaging may last, quote, anywhere from 9 to 20 seconds. Wow. Can you imagine? Think about that again. That's not to get your anti-missile technology ready to fire. No, that you've got 9 to 20 seconds to detect it, make sure it's real, and it's not just some blip that's not real, sorting out its trajectory of where it's going to hit, and then engaging in 9 to 20 seconds.
That's a lot of pressure operating like that.
That's what our men and women are dealing with right now, just by simply being in the water in case they're needed from the Middle Eastern war. What's going to happen when we actually get pulled into it, which I think we're probably on the verge of being pulled into it, in my opinion.
Yeah, seems like it.
Yeah, well, look, I was at a conference last week, and I was able to meet a couple from the Ukraine. They had flown in from the Ukraine. They pastor in Ukraine. And I didn't get a chance to talk to them a lot, but I did talk to the guy that flew them in, that knew them very well. And I asked him point blank some of the things that we talk about here. When we were sitting in this room drinking coffee before it started, I asked him, I said, I don't hear much about the war and all that. And he goes, well, to be honest with you, that's on the other side of Ukraine. Where they're at, they don't have any war. So when I saw a map today of where Russia had advanced, it's a very small amount. I mean, when you look at all of Ukraine, you'll see the red line. If you ever look at that map where Russia's advanced, I mean, I'd say 80% of the country doesn't have any red on it. So, but yet this is what we get right here from Zelensky, our favorite person. Zelensky says in an interview, it's the world's fault that Russia is gaining. It's the world's fault. In a rare personal visit of Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky to the battlefield, particularly to the war-ravaged country's northeastern Kharkiv oblast, he blamed Russia's rapid advance on the world for not sending enough weapons. Ukraine's front line in the region has been collapsing amidst a major new Russian cross-border offensive. Brigades are not only equipped are not totally equipped because of the package, which was waited through for 8 months. ABC News during this visit. He was referencing the delayed $61 billion Ukraine aid package, which was recently passed and signed into effect by President Biden. So this dude right here, do you know that they just this week, I don't know if you heard this, Sandy, just this week, they changed the law in Ukraine to allow prisoners to serve in the military.
No, I did not know that.
So they're starting to open the jails and the prisons because they're running out of human beings. They now are drafting people that are in their 60s.
That's been going on.
Yes, right. So they got elderly people that are being drafted, not just volunteering and serving and allowing them to serve. They're being drafted and made to work. You have to have special permission to leave the country if you're a military-age fighting man or a special type of occupation that you're in or some kind of dire situation in your family. And now they've opened the prisons to fight, but yet he's blaming America and the rest of the world for what is happening. And I'm just telling you right now, I understand you need money. I understand that you need stuff like that. But if you want to really be an ally, when you get $61 billion, actually you've been given over $200 billion, and then you want to mock us right in the first opportunity you get.
Yeah, the $61 billion was just the last installment.
Just the last one.
And right after he received that, he started talking about wanting more.
Yeah.
Of course. But you're right. I mean, he's ridiculous. And how much longer can this go on? Where is the end?
Yeah. Yeah, where is the end? Yep. That's my question too.
Yeah.
what's happening, he says, the reporter says in Kharkov now, is this America's fault? That's what the journalist said. Is this America's fault?
It's the fault of the whole world.
Zelensky, it's the fault of the whole world. I mean, it's everyone's fault that all that money allocated for defensive fortifications has been lost in the pockets of all these Ukrainians responsible for building it. I want to know, did he say that, or was this the guy, Olga Bazova, saying that? Because I don't think he would say that, because that's what we've been saying is happening. The money's not going to the military. The money is being channeled through a money laundering thing. And quite frankly, I think a lot of the money's been going to Zelensky and his wife, because she's been traveling all over the world, seeing the world on vacation while they're in war. I've never heard of a war in my life that the president is he's more out of the country talking to Congresses of other countries and meeting with senators and representatives of other countries than he is in his own country. It don't make sense to me.
No,
There's
of it
something's
makes sense.
going on.
Exactly. Terrible. I'm sick of talking about this.
Well, you got to talk about it. We got a talk show.
We're over 2 years into this with no end in sight. And every time you turn around, he's needing something else, and then blaming the world that it's happening in the first place.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Zelensky, if you're watching. I don't think he's watching. Somebody's probably told him about the big picture.
I don't know.
You
Maybe.
know, the whole world knows about the big picture. You know that? The whole world's watching.
The whole world.
The whole world's watching.
Come on, then.
U.S. fears that undersea cables are vulnerable to espionage from Chinese repair ships. If we needed anything else, that we've already had them blown up, we've already been threatened by the Houthi rebels, we're now seeing that when the ships come in to repair them, they're worried that the Chinese are going to install some things in the lines to track us even more. U.S. officials are privately delivering an unusual warning to telecommunications companies. Undersea cables that ferry internet traffic across the Pacific Ocean could be vulnerable to tampering by Chinese repair ships. State Department officials said a state-controlled Chinese company that helps repair international cables, this submarine systems, appears to be hiding its vessels' locations from radio and satellite tracking services, which the officials and others said defied easy explanation. The warnings highlighted an overlooked security risk to undersea fiber optic cables. According to these officials, Silicon Valley giants such as Google and Meta platforms partially own many cables and are investing in more, but they rely on specialized construction and repair companies, including some with foreign ownership, that the United States officials fear could endanger the security of commercial and military data.
Wow. It's like they're figuring out every way to invade us, right?
That is the truth.
From the sky, from the sea floor. They're sending people across the border.
It's almost like they've got something really big planned. I need to go back and watch Leave the World Behind again. Because I believe the cyber attack is almost here, and I don't want to speak that and prophesy that. No. But I think it's upon us, y'all. But you know,
we got our own problems over here.
We got our own problems. But you know, it's heartwarming to know that P. Diddy did come out and apologize this week, Sandy, for the horrible video that was from 2016 that just now came out. And you know, you have to ask the question, why did it come out just after the statute of limitations where he can't be prosecuted?
Exactly.
Isn't that interesting?
How convenient.
So yeah, he's from some undisclosed location. I will not play the video. I will not make you suffer through that. And I'm not trying to speak bad over. He's still a human being. But look, this dude's got some serious problems. And I think he realizes he's either caught and he's sorry that he's caught, or as you and I have talked a lot privately, that they're through with him. And he's the guy, what do you call it, the scapegoat, that they're throwing under the bus, that because they want to divert you away from the people that came to his house and the people that supposedly own these tapes, sort of like somebody else that owned an island.
Yeah.
So
Telling it now.
Diddy's uttering his first words about the videotaped assault of Cassie, saying he, quote, takes full responsibility for his actions, claims he's already gone to rehab. Posted the video Sunday morning looking directly into the camera. He said, it's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life, but sometimes you got to do that. I was bleep up, and I hit rock bottom. Of course, here's the video where it was a horrible video of what he did to this woman. But, 2016, all right, y'all, it's 2016 when this happened. So why has he ever not said anything about it? Why has no one else said anything about it? Why has no one tried to prosecute him? Because there's no way you're going to make me believe that this video has not been in the hands of someone since 2016. It has been buried, and the reason it's been buried is, and I think all of us know, is because of who was coming to these parties, buried it.
Yep, you got it.
The floor is yours. I ain't saying nothing else. I'm giving it to you.
Well, I mean, I think your theory's correct. There are a lot of power players who have been at these parties. They do not want their identities to be leaked out for people to know that they were there, probably engaging in some of the same activities that the people we have heard their names were engaged in.
Mm-hmm.
So, they got to protect themselves some way. And celebrities have a weird way of disappearing or having horrible things happen to them. And I'm sure he's probably concerned for his life at this point.
That's what I was thinking, too. I was just thinking that, I hope that he's got his heart right with God. Yes. I hope all of that, because
he might want to put one of those videos out telling us how happy he is.
How he's not having any kind of...
No, this is a little bit of stuff going on, but I'm okay.
I'm not thinking about unaliving myself.
Exactly. Looking forward to the next 40 years. But yeah. Don't
read the press clippings. If anything happens to me, don't believe it. But that didn't help. That didn't help. What's his name that did the security software? What's his name, man? This conspiracy guy. He did the not Norton Security. Somebody will know.
McAfee.
Yeah, McAfee. Remember he made that video. He said on that video, I want everyone to know right now, if something happens to me, I did not do it to myself. I would never do that. And lo and behold, they said he did that. That's how they said he left this world, is that he unalived himself. And he flat out said, do not believe it. I watched the video. He's like, it is not true if that happens to me.
So that was an extreme case of that leaking out, and yet he still went away. So he must have been a major threat.
Major. Because he was calling some stuff out. Remember when he was going on them shows, he was saying some stuff that was like next level Alex Jones stuff. But all right, so talking about next level. King Charles, I mean, what in the world?
Whoa.
This portrait that came out, hidden in plain sight, King Charles, extremely red, official portrait sparks Satanism conspiracies. If you didn't already think something was weird about King Charles, my goodness, I don't know. I'm sure all the people that watch this channel has probably already seen it, but a very red portrait of King Charles is being mocked on social media. But in some corners on the internet, the discourse is not limited to the aesthetics of the painting itself, but the meaning behind the use of all that red. The painting, unveiled on Tuesday, marked the first official portrait. I mean, this is going to be your first official portrait of becoming something you've waited your whole life to be, and you're so old right now. Most people didn't even think you was ever going to be king, and you're finally king. And this is your portrait. I mean, the king unveiled a new portrait at Buckingham Palace, the painting commissioned by the Draper Company. It's the first official portrait to be completed. All right, so just alone this right here, and my mouse just died again. All right, stop this.
Connected.
This right here is just weird enough alone, that why they want to put his head inside of all this red. What does the red remind you of, Sandy?
Blood.
Okay, I think everybody reminds us.
What's up with the butterfly?
And it's not just a butterfly. Tell us, Sandy, you know what it means. It's the monarch.
Oh, yeah. That's the sign of monarch programming.
So come on, y'all. A single butterfly on the King of England, draped in blood, and you put a monarch butterfly. I'm telling you, this is weird, y'all. This is just weird. Now, people's going to break stuff down, but I do want you to notice when he unveils this, it's like, and I know this is probably not what happened, but it's like a spirit jumped off this thing and scared him to death. Watch his reaction. He's probably already seen this. I have a hard time believing he's never seen this.
Okay.
And he pulls the drape off to display it, and it's like he sees something demonic. Watch this. He just it's like something hit him. Look at it again. Watch it. I gotta watch that again. Ah! Come on, King Charles. Somebody says fix it. Yeah, that's not official. All right, I gotta change because this thing keeps dying on me.
Yeah. So, do you have a picture of?
Yeah, I'm trying to get to it. If I can get a mouse to work.
They put a cockroach instead of a butterfly. Okay, funny. So, when we get this fixed, we can show the person who was smart enough to double the image and show you what they saw. And I've seen that done a lot when you want to hide something in the picture that you're showing. You have to double the image and see, what was trying to be hidden. But what are they saying just in the original picture here? Just
I'm just going to scroll.
It's so weird.
Don't you while you can talking about this?
It's so weird.
There it is. Now, that's not even the upside down one. So it shows it both ways, upside down, and this. You can see in the center there the evil demonic face.
Right.
Y'all, I've got 3 mouses here, and I can't get a single one of them to work.
So tell us, guys, what
in the world? Keep talking.
What are you guys seeing in this portrait when it's been doubled? Or does anybody see the face?
Don't nobody leave.
It's supposed to be the Baphomet face.
We got to this one, and the devil shut all my mouses down.
Oh, they don't like it. They don't want us talking about this. And Delane's talking about a Graceland auction. I'm sorry.
What?
I'm out of the loop on that, so I don't know what that is. But
somebody just gave us the thumbs down.
Maybe somebody can clue us in.
What did you not like? Comment.
It's that Larry Ragland technology.
I think it was an accident. I think they were trying to hit like.
Anyway, so someone says they see lots of things. He was too cheap to hire a professional. Maybe. Baphomet probably spelled it wrong. Maybe. But yeah, so the Baphomet right there in the center as when you double this. And I can't imagine someone taking a commission to do this and, just presenting this to the world. What did they think everyone was going to say? Billy Mitchell says he sees it. Mike 89 sees it. CJ said, this is how you spell Baphomet. Thanks, CJ. But we use the word, you didn't say Luciferian, but you were talking about Satanism earlier. It wouldn't be shocking if we found out that he and others in the monarchy were involved in something like that.
Look at that. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's so obvious.
Right.
You can see the horns,
yes.
the eyes,
yes.
the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
It's Baphomet. And then look, nobody's ever talking about his hands.
Right.
Look at his hands, y'all. His hands look like a skeleton. They look like bones, don't they?
It's weird.
Why would you? Look at that evil face. Mm-hmm. Why would you do that? That is your initial portrait as the king. That is crazy.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm handling this trackpad. Both my mouses just died, but hopefully we can survive until the end of the program.
Come on, Jesus.
So, man, it's just wow.
Illuminati. That's another good word in description.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. All right, so let's move on because, I just feel like that, in my opinion, I feel like that is a in-your-face, we've been talking about they're saying the quiet things out loud. They're not hiding
it anymore.
I think that was just a thing like, hey, look, we ain't got time for no veil references. We need to pay homage to Lucifer right now because what's coming, we got to do what we're going to do right now. And one of the things we've said on this show for the last several weeks, it appears that everything is escalating so fast. Don't leave yet because the last third of this show is going to show you things with AI.
Oh, my goodness.
That is insane.
Yeah.
That has just come out this week that has catapulted this agenda of the Antichrist, the beast system, like nothing I've ever seen. I believe they realize they're running out of time. I really do. Because, we got the election coming up, and I believe they think, what one way or the other, I don't think they think they're going to be able to get away with this if Orange Man bad tweet man gets in.
Yeah.
But, there's still a lot of stuff going on that we need to keep our viewers caught up on. They're really, really pushing this bird flu. And it's go ahead.
This story has been getting more traction every week that goes by. And every month that goes by, it feels like things are ramping up.
Yeah.
Not just in one area, in multiple areas, because it feels like it's coming from every side all the time.
Yes,
but it just feels like every month that goes by, things are becoming more intense in our country and all over the world.
Absolutely. The United States Centers for Disease Control, the CDC, recently launched a national dashboard. See if this sounds familiar. A national dashboard, which is basically a tracking that allows Americans to see the latest updates on the spread of bird flu across the country. Remember when we had the maps? You had code green. This county was green. This county was red. This county was yellow. That's what we're seeing again already. This dashboard monitors wastewater and sewage testing. Yeah, so they're using that as a premise. So look, they've already started it. I want to ask you, does this not feel like deja vu?
Yes.
I mean, look, you got a map where you're starting to see it's the
You do know that they were using the testing from the sewage and the wastewater treatment plants the last go around.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yes, they were using that back then.
Sure was. So look, you can already see where minimal to high rates of bird flu is already being tracked across the country. And then look at this. A separate table updated on the 14th by the CDC reports a whopping 90,892,846 birds have been ordered to be exterminated.
My goodness.
Ranging from wild aquatic birds, commercial poultry, and backyard or hobbyist flocks. What? There has been almost 91 million birds killed.
Why are we just hearing about this now?
Exactly.
We've not done a story on that many birds that are up for, extermination. And I haven't seen anything on the news.
No.
Goodness.
Wow.
They're still monitoring those 70 dairy farmers. My goodness.
Yep, still being monitored. And that's the thing. This is the birds that's been killed. Now they're moving to the cattle. They're saying that the dangerous thing is going to be the cattle. So they're monitoring the cattle. They're monitoring the cattle workers. And, look, we just all know where this is going. Do we not? Do we not, big picture? Do we not know where this is going?
It seems very familiar.
You've got, the presidential candidate, if you remember, he was bad, but he was not near as bad as he is now. He ran the campaign from his basement. I promise you they want to run this one from his basement. I mean, on the next level. Now, can I say something politically real quick right here? I don't have a article about it. But, most of you know that the two candidates, Trump and Biden, have agreed to debate. which should be interesting.
Yes.
The first one's going to be in June, and I believe that's the earliest presidential debate on record because it's usually at least three debates in the fall leading up to when people's thinking about the election. Well, nobody's thinking about the election in the summer. So, things that come out in the summer, just like news that unloads on Friday evening, they know when to unload something they don't want you paying attention to. So they know that a June, literally next month, debate is going to be, people's going to be on vacations and all this kind of stuff. I told Sandy this today, I believe this is a setup. Yeah. I believe he's being set up. And I believe they know that it's going to be a disaster, even though this crazy debate has no crowd. There's no crowd, and they just when your time is up, the buzzer goes off. You don't get to keep talking. They turn your mic off. All of this is geared towards helping him, but I think everybody knows it's not going to be good for him. I believe this debate in June is a setup so that they will come out of it. It'll be a disaster, and they'll say, "Look, we have no other choice. We have to replace him." And you know who I've said, and who knows, but I say she is waiting in the wings for the third Obama term. That's all I'm going to say.
Wow.
And I think look, they may go all the way to the convention, but it just seems to me like something's being set up right here pre-summer so that they'll have the summer to do it. They'll be able to reinstitute somebody else in that place by the convention. A lot of stuff's going south of the border as well. We got people coming across the border to us, but look at this. Mexico City, who knew they are virtually out of water? They are virtually out of water. For months, scientists have worried that drought around Mexico City, which has over 22 million residents that lives in this one city, would cause the city to run out of water. That day is approaching fast, and there is no alternative. Some groups of people in the city or some set of essential services will suffer within a few months or even a few weeks. The reservoirs of their water system, which provides 1/5 of the city's water, are essentially dry. The only available option is to attempt to take water from the aquifers below the city. This is not a large enough supply, and as the water is drawn from these, which are the partial foundations of the Mexico City, the metropolitan areas could sink several feet a year. The city, or much of it, would be destroyed. Mm-hmm. This is a disaster coming.
Right.
I mean, this is horrible.
It's very bad. I mean, what are you going to do? 22 million people. Is that the largest or most populous city in the world?
I think it was at one time. I don't know if it still is, but I think it is. It was the largest city in the world. Yeah, and then think about, hey, they got water beneath them, but if they start pumping that out, the city's destroyed. It sinks because the water is part of the foundation that's holding it up.
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like talking about this next stuff, but I got to talk about it because you got to know what's going on. But this just happened, and you need to be aware of it if you didn't already know this. An appeals court has ruled that parents, look at the words, make sure you understand what I'm saying, cannot opt their K-5 children out of LGBTQ curriculum. That's our grandbaby.
Yeah.
I mean, I read that. I was thinking of my grandbaby. She's going to be going into K-5. This would be talking about her. And so Maryland's largest school district does not have to allow parents to opt their K-5 children out of classes and books that discuss the LGBTQ topics like sexuality and gender, at least for now. A federal appeals court ruled on Wednesday. The 2-to-1 rule, look how powerful judges are. By one person made this happen because it was 2-to-1 or it had been 1-to-1. So 2-to-1 ruling of the 4th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals affirmed a lower court decision denying a preliminary injunction on the basis that the parents had not shown how the policy initiated by the Montgomery County Public School System would violate their children's First Amendment right to free exercise of religion. This is an attack upon Christianity. This is an attack upon the Creator. You have a Christian family saying, look, please understand what is being said here. This Christian family is suing to say We know we do not have the right to mandate that you can't talk about this. We just want you to give us the right to opt our child out of it. Well, they still want to do the math. They still want to do the reading. They still want to do all the other stuff. I just don't want my child going through this curriculum.
Right.
Because we're Christians.
Yes.
And I don't want my child exposed to this. And a United States appeals court said, no, you do not have a right to do that. So you know what this means? It's time for homeschool. It's time for vetted Christian schools, because every Christian school ain't great either. Vetted Christian schools and homeschooling.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if it's at all possible for you, mamas and daddies, if it is all possible, no matter what kind of sacrifice you got to make, get your kids out of public school as quick as you can. Homeschool them, or put them in a vetted, true, spirit-filled, Bible-based private school. Because if you leave your kids, especially starting from the children's age, in 12 years of school nowadays, you will not recognize your child very soon. Go ahead, help me.
Well said. That's great. And yeah, we do need to do that. We need to rise up and, promote homeschooling more. Yeah, we need to fight this, but when they have all the power behind them, it makes it really hard for us.
Yeah, that's right.
To get any traction and to get done what we want and need to get done. So homeschooling is a great option.
Yeah, and like I said, even Christian schools, not every Christian school is great. Mm-hmm. There's some of them that's gone woke.
Right.
So make sure you got a Christian school, if you put them in a Christian school or a private school, that you know the values of that school. But look, let's think about the fact that, when you think about a television, what is it called? It's called tell-a-vision. All right, so from the very beginning, the whole concept of the media was to program us.
Yes.
Because think about what the shows on the television are called. They're called television programs. So TV and media has always been designed to program you into believing it. I remember, like it was yesterday, even though it was a long time ago, when we were in our little white building, is what we call it, our second building that we were in, I was preaching the night that Ellen on her show came out. And she did a quick little peck kiss with another woman. It's the first time it had ever happened. And there were so many people saying this is she became Time Person of the Year. She was on because of this. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, something shifted. That was right around the same time. Get a little preachy here. That Bill Clinton decided that he said, it all depends on what the definition of is. Right. Remember that?
Yes.
The blue dress and all of that.
Yes.
I stood up that night in our church and I said, listen to me, something shifted in this country this month, because they were sort of similar around the same time. And when the president of the United States, which is supposed to be sort of like a father figure of the nation, redefined what sex was, right, and what it wasn't, that got into the psyche of a generation. And then you began the celebration. I want you to know where it's gone now. This is coming out for Pride Month, because put your seatbelt on. What is today? May 20th.
Yes.
You got a little bit over a week, and here it comes. It's going to be everywhere, okay? Well, if you have Peacock Network, guess what's coming to Peacock Network? Queer Planet. Not Blue Planet, Queer Planet. This is an actual show. I thought this was the Babylon Bee when I read this, but this is an actual show. This is letting nature teach us that everybody's gay. Queer Planet is more than just the gay penguins or bisexual lions, as applied title LGBTQ plus Peacock feature documentary trailer states. The upcoming film is narrated by Girls Forever. Is that Girls Five Ever? I don't know. Never heard of that. actor Andrew Rannells, and is billed as a first-of-its-kind nature documentary that focuses solely on the queer creatures in the animal kingdom. Now, we've all heard of gay penguins, but this film really opened my eyes to the full spectrum of the LGBTQ behaviors across the natural world. And what could be more natural than being who you are? I'm excited to be a part of Queer Planet, especially during Pride Month and on Peacock, surely the most colorful and glamorous of all the streaming services. Sandy, why don't we watch the trailer?
Okay.
Our planet is home to over 11 million species.
The paparazzi really are everywhere.
Everything you were taught as a kid is wrong.
You make me wanna dance. Gay penguins, bisexual lions, sex-changing clownfish.
This is a queer planet.
Queerness has always existed. It's only in humans that we have such a stigma about it.
The idea of just having two fixed sexes is clearly out of style.
Mother Nature is pretty open-minded. Sex is not just for reproduction.
It's clear that no matter where you look on our planet, nature is full of queer surprises.
To be honest, we should all probably get laid a little more than we do.
Okay.
Comments?
I hadn't seen that before. Wow.
I knew I was going to drop that one on you.
Okay. Well, we could take the idea that the animals and nature endures and continues to thrive and reproduce to remind ourselves that if that were even true, it can't be that popular of an idea among the animals.
Yeah.
Or they would,
there would not be any more animals.
they would fail to be able to reproduce. But this is a form of programming. They are planting this idea in the minds of not only adults, but especially children.
Yes.
To help them to think that this is rampant, that this is happening all over the place all the time.
Right.
And I'm sorry, but I just refuse to believe that it is.
No, and there we go again. Zane said, I ain't never heard no gay penguin. I ain't either. He just said, remember the opening of the trailer, we've all heard of gay penguins. I'm sorry. Maybe I've just been, since I'm in the South down here, we don't talk about penguins, but
I've never heard of
gay.
bisexual lions before.
Never heard of non-binary lions. Non-binary lines. But, let's go back to what this really is. Boy, I'm getting a little preachy tonight, saying I keep going back to the Word of God because that's who I am. These are all attacks against the Creator. Go get your Bible out, dust that thing off. You ain't pulled that thing out in forever. Just you might be a good idea to get your Bible out in these days and times. And it says that when He made the creatures, they reproduced after their own kind.
Yes.
They reproduced.
Yeah.
Now, you can't twist that to say after their own kind, meaning the guy and the guy got together because that's their own kind. No, you can't reproduce.
Right.
So you reproduce after your own kind. So in other words, a lion can't mate with an elephant, but a boy elephant and a girl elephant can make a baby elephant.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, just because you got a dog that's a little confused, I think we've all had we've seen the dogs that just sort of one dude went up to another dude because it was that time of the year and they're just like, what's up? And it's like, but they still go try to find somebody else to have a baby with. Boy, I'm trying to talk in code here. So I'm not saying that there ain't some weird things that happen, but to promote this on this level as this evidence that we're the only weird ones in the world that don't get this.
Right.
This is pure sick.
Well, it's just programming, and it's using your platform to influence minds in a certain way. And, like this article says, just in time for what? For Pride Month.
Just in time. But I will tell you this: I have heard that several stores are not doing it this year. Several places they're not going to light it up this year because because of the mighty dollar. Some people push back, and so who knows?
Good.
I watched a video the other day saying this is great. This guy that I follow, he's on a PBD podcast. He's one of the guys that's on there, and he was so emotional. He was so good. He was just like, he was literally tears rolling down his face. He goes, I need everyone to please lift me up in prayer. I've just received the worst news that I can even imagine. And I don't even know how I can say it, but I just found out that Red Lobster has gone into bankruptcy. He did. And I was just like, oh, man, you had me. I thought somebody died or something. But he was just like, I love Red Lobster. I love their biscuits. And so they're just another domino's falling, Sandy. The iconic Red Lobster has gone into bankruptcy, has closed many stores, and you know that's usually the sign. That's the step towards, goodbye Red Lobster.
Yes.
It's just unbelievable how many mainstay of our life are going by way of the grave in this economy.
Yeah.
The 56-year-old chain made the filing for bankruptcy late Sunday, days after shuttering dozens of restaurants. The restructuring is the best path forward for Red Lobster. It allows us to address several financial operationals. It goes on to say, I believe in this article, if I can get down to it, there it is. They say that they have 19 million share of loss in Red Lobster, but I can't find it. But they had like a $1 billion. There it is. The seafood restaurant chain said in a court filing that it has more than 100,000 creditors and an estimated assets between $1 billion and $10 billion, but the company's estimated liabilities are between $1 billion and $10 billion. What?
What?
Poor Red Lobster.
Oh.
We've never really been, but maybe like 2 or 3 times our whole life. Mm-hmm. But, it's not that bad. It's just not our cup of tea. But
Yeah, it wasn't my favorite.
But you hate to see it go. I mean, it's Red Lobster. Come on. I mean, that's like an icon.
Exactly.
Now, if they start messing with Longhorn Steakhouse, I'm going to get mad. We don't really go that much more, but I still love Olive Garden.
Yes.
Olive Garden's good, but they're probably in trouble too.
They're probably in trouble as well.
Well, it's been a long time since we talked about the World Economic Forum. Ain't going to be long. Chris Sloan, if you're watching, thank you so much he's the one that does the voiceover for our commercial that we do for helping us out on our being a partner. But he also made one, sent him a script, and he made it. We'll be using in the future. We're going to have a World Economic Forum update. He'll be like, welcome to the World Economic Forum update.
Great.
Where you shall eat the bugs. But here's something. I tell you what, they don't ever give up. Come out today. They're demanding limits on car ownership. First of all, how you gonna demand anything? World Economic Forum. You ain't nobody voted you in. Mm-hmm. You really ain't got no power. World Economic Forum demands limits on car ownership among the general public, of course, among the general public. The unelected WEF is calling on global governments to begin placing limits on private car ownership among the general public. The globalist WEF, go ahead and say it, them old
Weffers and heifers.
If you were not here last week, you don't know what that is.
Is this story going to get the Golden Chicken Award?
I think we should have gave it to the queer planet.
The last one.
I think I'm just going to go ahead and say it right now. I deem the squeaky, what do we call this?
It's the Golden Chicken Award.
The Golden Chicken Award. The Golden Chicken Award tonight goes to Peacock TV
Queer Planet
for telling us about non-binary lions.
We're sorry in advance for your pets if they're getting upset.
Yeah, last week I was like, my dog's going crazy. Says they're demanding that regular families with more than one car should be forced to give up one of their vehicles, despite the fact that a person can only drive one car at a time. Them old heifers and weffers. I gotta be careful when I say that, because you know how I am sometimes.
Yes.
Not that I cuss or anything, but I'm just saying that I get my words messed up, so I gotta be careful.
You do.
I need to leave that to you. You need to be the one to say the wefers and heifers because I'm going to mess up one night.
Okay.
Accidentally. Despite the fact that a person can only drive one car at a time, the WEF, I just always want to do that. I always think about wrestling, WWF, insists that limiting the number of vehicles people can own will help save the planet from climate change. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have more than one vehicle, it is up to you. It's on you to sell, get rid of, give away, donate to charity, your other vehicle, and y'all need to coordinate your rides.
All right.
To save the planet.
Hey, that's just the beginning. Wait till they demand if you have a vacant bedroom that you allow people, an individual, or even families to move into your home with you.
Are you talking about newcomers?
Yeah, the newcomers.
You know, the newcomers. Yeah, the newcomers. Is your house going to be a sanctuary house?
Right.
That's what's coming next. But, hey, last week we covered the big auroras that we saw down here.
Yes.
That was insane, crazy. But guess what came out this week? Because, by the way, remember we said, as beautiful as it was, let's not forget, we're taking pictures of beauty, which means radiation, which means major solar plasma is hitting us. Who knows what it's doing to us and to our infrastructure.
Is it those cosmic galactic rays?
Scientists are warning that the most powerful solar eruptions are actually coming next year in 2025. Harvard astrophysicist Jonathan McDowell told DailyMail.com that we could easily get much bigger storms over the next year or two as solar storm intensity increases.
Wow.
While Earth's mostly succeeded in weathering last weekend's solar storm, listen to this details here. This is awesome. I mean, amazing. Strong solar storm experts have warned more powerful eruptions could continue to strike until 2025. He said the sun has not yet reached its solar maximum, the most energetic point of its recurring 11-year solar cycle in which greater turbulence raises the sun's total energy output. I will be talking to Stan Dale about this. The maximum will finally come in the heat of the summer next year, July 2025. We could easily get much bigger storms over the next year or two. The extreme G5 geomagnetic conditions of last weekend's solar storm was produced by a disturbance on the sun's surface, a sunspot, which you put your eclipse glasses on, you could have seen it. I saw it. That was larger than the solar disturbance that produced the infamous 1859 Carrington event. The Carrington solar storm set telegraph wires on fire, cut communications worldwide, and even disrupted ships' compasses. And space weather experts anticipate that a direct hit from the bigger solar storms coming soon could be worse than that Carrington event.
Wow.
In July of 2025.
What a great segue to talk about getting that EMP shield.
Listen to you. Listen to you. That's true. If you want to get an EMP shield, we put it on our house. And, hey, we'll be ready put it this way. We'll be about as ready as you can be because nothing can protect your home and your car, your generators, your boat, all that, like the EMP shield. And several of you have already bought that. You've let us know that.
Right.
If you'd like to get an EMP shield and want to know more about EMP shield, right down below in the description right now, just scroll down there and you'll see the direct link to the EMP shield. We get a small portion going towards the ministry there, but you can go to that website, investigate it, and see if it's for you. If you'd like to buy it, you also can help out Solid Rock Church. Yes, you help out Solid Rock Church too. But this is the big picture.
Yes. But back to this story. This is serious. I mean, when you have evidence that things are changing and something's going on, like being able to see this aurora borealis in your backyard, as far south as we are, it's amazing. But you also need to stop and think about what is happening to make this possible.
Yeah, and from what I hear, the reason that the Carrington type event did not happen to us is they knew this was coming, and many of the systems were trying to have whatever they needed to do, whether it be something like an EMP shield, probably on a much commercial level or something like that, plus backups and data. But I'll be honest with you, since that happened, it was already bad, but since that happened, the internet on my phone, the internet at our house coming in and out, especially on my phone, the cell phone signal, It has been horrible.
Yep.
And I wish the people would let us know if you've experienced that as well.
Yes.
I still feel like we're receiving the effects. So I think it did do some damage, but we ain't been told about it. That's my opinion. I think it did do some damage, but they had enough backup systems to keep it running because it is a shell of what it used to be.
Yes.
Y'all, Verizon used to be the gold standard.
Yeah.
I mean, you go anywhere in the boonies and you had a signal, nobody else had a signal. Verizon is just like all of them now. They're all horrible. Did you hear that, NSA? I know what you're doing with the 5G.
It's true, and it's frustrating. Yep.
And look, we're talking about the sun here. We just a few weeks ago had a total eclipse. We done forgot about that. We done moved on from this amazing phenomenon that just happened like a month and a half ago. Unbelievable. Then we had the solar storms. And now we're starting to see things like this happening all around the world. Did you see this video of the flaming comet that turned the whole sky bright green and blue?
I have not seen the video. I did see that there was a story on this, so I'm excited to see this if we have any video for it.
I do. Day turned into night in dozens of towns in Spain as the brilliant light lit up the sky. We got meteors falling left and right that are being caught on camera. And here's this one guy's got a car. He's just driving. He's got a car camera.
Look at that.
Watch how when it explodes.
Oh my
Boom!
goodness.
Is that it? Can you imagine seeing that?
That is amazing. And this was in Mexico.
No, it's in Spain.
In Spain, I'm sorry.
In Spain. Yeah. Wow. That's just insane. Let's watch that again.
Yes.
I mean, watch how the clouds just light up.
Yes.
When it explodes right before it hits.
Wow.
It's like daytime.
Unbelievable.
And thankfully, it landed in the ocean.
Yeah.
Because if that would have landed on, any kind of buildings, that would have been horrible. But God said there'll be signs in the heavens and in the earth beneath. I mean, what more do you need? Get your Bible out. Get your heart right with God.
Yep. Between that and all these extreme weather events we're having, we had damage in our yard on Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
I had asked earlier that day, are we going to get any rain today? And you said, well, there's a small chance that we'll get a little rain. Well, I will let you take over from here because I was still in the building. I hadn't left when it hit.
Yeah. And I had to pick up something in my truck, and you told me, said, you better go now because the rain's coming. I had the back of my truck open and had a lawnmower in it, basically what it was. And I got out of the church, and I was out of the church 3 minutes, and the bottom fell out like I have never drove through in my life. I'm being hit by hail. Trees are falling all around me. I couldn't see past the front of my truck. I'm just like, is this the apocalypse? Has it become? I mean, is it begun? I mean, it's like one thing after the other. And
Right.
it just,
We get to our neighborhood, the street is covered with leaves and sticks and limbs and mud.
And we had a full tree down.
We got to our yard.
Root ball and all that up.
Exactly. Uprooted one tree, another tree broke in half.
Yeah.
Everything,
Crazy.
all the outside furniture on the carport was mangled into one pile.
It really was.
The wind blew it into one
insane.
pile.
It's insane.
And there were limbs all over the yard. I was like, really? I thought I was finally going to get home and it was going to be a nice, relaxing afternoon.
Nope.
So we're working for the next hour and a
Picking up
half,
debris.
trying to straighten things back up.
Yep.
But that is just to say how sporadic and
Yes.
erratic the weather is. But they're not going to talk about it. They're not going to tell you anything. You may get something on your phone about expect a weather. I can't remember the wording that I get now because things are different now, and you get different phrasing and wordings in your alerts on your phone. Weather event or serious weather event. Think of all the floods that have happened and the tornadoes. We have had so many tornadoes, and I know we have tornadoes this time of year, but Houston,
Yeah.
what in the world?
Did you see all those windows blew out?
Yes, the windows blown out of the high rise.
Skyscrapers.
A brick or block wall.
If y'all
collapsed.
are from Houston, you do need to let us know.
Yes.
Okay, so I accidentally just fired somebody's comment up there. So what does that say? I don't know. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you. No, the one I was going to fire, which I just happened to look down there, I don't know what kind of discussion y'all are in right now, but I do appreciate Kevin. He says Pastor Ragland is handsome and Sandy looks beautiful. God's brought them together. God bless you.
Well, praise God.
And then we get on down here to Colleen. Oh, Colleen's trying to be funny. Colleen says, Larry, why don't your hair look as lovely as Sandy's? What? Colleen, can I tell you? Because it's a miracle I still got the mouth that I have. That's about all I got left. I couldn't make it grow down to my shoulders if I wanted to. But I'm loving these comments, y'all. Yeah. But I'll agree, baby. I don't care how much I could put just for men on my hair and all. It would never look as pretty as you.
Oh, thanks, babe.
All right, so let's get back into this. So, if y'all needed more evidence, the Mark of the Beast is on his way. Here we go. Mark of the Beast is saying that J.P. Morgan and MasterCard are on board with biometric breakthrough. Listen to the wording. You have to always listen to the wording. Biometric breakthrough year. You may soon start paying with your face. J.P. Morgan and MasterCard are on board in biometric breakthrough year. So what they're trying to tell you is that this year and next year is going to escalate in paying with your face at regular stores, at just regular stores. Credit cards are about to be gone. Digital everything is about to be here. Cash is no longer king in the world we live in. They will not accept cash. Many places do not accept cash now. And they certainly stopped taking checks a long time ago. I don't know anybody that takes a check anymore. But this is a first of its kind automated fast food restaurant, Cali Express by Flippy in Pasadena, California, opened in January to considerable hype due to its robot burger makers. But the restaurant launched with another less heralded innovation, the ability to pay for your meal with your face. The facial ID tech company, Pop ID, is the one that's doing this. To activate it, users register with a selfie, then they can opt to be recognized, and then Pop ID's facial verification confirms the transaction. And listen how they're selling this. The chain says that using Pop ID takes 2 to 3 seconds, compared with the check-in with a QR code in a mobile app, which could take up to 20 seconds. When I read that, I was like, if there's ever been a paragraph that details the attention span of our world that we have now, it's like that means somebody behind that person in line is like, good God Almighty, it's been 15 seconds. What is wrong with you? Get your food and go. Best way to stop a fight from happening over those 15 to 20 seconds is to let them scan your face in 2 to 3 seconds.
That's right.
What is this world going? Where is it going?
Don't ask that question.
I'm going to date myself here to a bunch of older people on here. Calgon, take me away. Some of you younger people are like, Calgon, what is he talking about?
Yeah, especially since it was usually women who said that.
That's true. Better watch it nowadays. That's true. By the way, I've never been in a Calgon bath. I was just thinking that commercial. I've never been in a Calgon bath in my life. In fact, I've probably only taken like 5 baths in my life. But
wow.
I do bathe. I shower. For the record, I do shower.
Let's clarify that.
But is that crazy that we are so messed up that we have got to spend millions and millions of dollars on research and development to take our wait time at the register down from 20 seconds to 3 seconds, or it's just not going to work.
Well, okay. I find that particularly ridiculous when you will know for sure if you're in the drive-through line. You would love for anything to happen. They don't even come on the speaker within 20 seconds to take your order, let alone deliver it in anywhere close to that time. And probably also if you are going inside to most restaurants, you're not getting your food anywhere near that. So, yeah.
I'm really expecting one of our drive-thrus pretty soon for me to pull up and they're going to say, what do you want? I mean, literally just say, what do you want? Remember how they used to at least say, your order is $21.86? Or they would say, they repeat your order back to you and then tell you that now it's like you make your order and it's like they don't want you, they assume you don't have cash. Because if you had cash, wouldn't you want to know that it was $21.80 so you could get $22 ready?
Yes.
But they don't even tell you the amount. Drive around for your amount. Because we're already programmed, Sandy, cash is over.
Yes.
It's already over in this world that we live in. And now, not only is cash over, and you got paying when you watch and all this kind of stuff, that's not enough. Now we got to, but watch this. What are the two, God, please get this. What are the two things that they are paying with? Palm and face. What are the two things that the Antichrist is going to put the mark on one day? Hand and head.
Forehead. Yep.
So can we not understand what we're being programmed for?
Come on.
I mean, you don't have to be a theologian, a preacher. You don't even have to be a Christian
No.
to know that that's what we're going towards.
Exactly. But if the Bible says even the very elect,
Yes.
what about all those
That
that
ain't, they ain't got no kind of
they're
elect.
asleep, they haven't had any kind of spiritual interaction in their life? Yeah, of course. That's just going to go
That's
right
true.
over their head.
Well, it's time to talk about some AI.
Come on.
So you know what that means.
Uncle Jimmy.
There he is. Jimmy.
He's winking at you.
Oh, Uncle Jimmy. I don't look nothing like him.
It's the Supernatural AI Update.
Yes, the crowd goes wild because they love the supernatural AI. And they love the lightning plasma behind it. Makes you think like we just went inside a video game or something.
I feel electric.
Yes, you are electric. So heavy on the AI tonight because I got some stuff to show you on that's what's happening with Google and OpenAI.
And you just like creeping me out, right?
I do like creeping you out, and I like doing it live in all the world to see you while I'm doing it, just to see your beautiful reaction. Google has announced new generative AI. Remember when we first started talking about the term generative AI?
Yes, and it hasn't been that long ago.
It hasn't been that long ago, and they were talking about 2 or 3 years from now.
Yeah.
Just a couple of months ago, that's what they were saying.
Psych.
Psych. Announced this new generative AI for search engine that does the searching for you. Has anyone experienced that yet? I have. I don't know if it's because I'm on the beta of Google browser or not, Google Chrome browser or not. I would like to know if you have. Now when I do a search, before it ever gets to even the advertised links, is a box at the top where Gemini, the AI, and I didn't opt into this, automatically answers my question for me or gives me information on the situation. And there's a lot of controversy on what this is going to mean for companies, and we'll talk about that tonight. And you can see right now threatens journalism industry as well. Earlier this week, Google announced plans to integrate generative AI into their commonly used search engine via the Gemini AI model, which they say Google will take care of the legwork for you. Gemini will quickly curate an answer, and like I said, I've experienced this already, without even requesting it, and I did not opt into it, based on the prompt given in the search engine, and generate some answers based on the popular articles out of the ether. Google will do the Googling for you, the company says. The AI model will also allow people to upload a video, and Gemini will curate results to troubleshoot an issue or answer a question. For example, maybe you bought a record player at a thrift store, but it's not working. Listen to this. When you turn it on and the metal piece with the needle is drifting unexpectedly, Google says searching with video saves you the time and trouble of finding the right words to describe the issue, and you'll get an AI overview with steps and resources to troubleshoot. Now, for those that didn't understand what I just said, this has already advanced to the point where you got that record player and you just video it doing what it's doing, submit it to Google. Google's AI watches the video and then returns with the step-by-step process to troubleshoot and repair the record player. Now, I'm going to show you this in action tonight. I got videos tonight to show you. But this will be catastrophic to our traffic. These are some of the journalists and CNN and advertising agents are saying, which it will be, as marketed by Google to further satisfy users' queries, leaving even less incentive to click through so that we can monetize our content. The little traffic we get today will be further diminished, and with a dominant search engine that's cementing the market power, we once again have to adhere to their terms, this time with a product that directly competes with our content, using our content to fuel it. This is a perverse twist of innovation. So let me just tell you from experience, exactly what that reporter said is exactly what I've done. When I go to Google now, and I'm sorry that I'm doing it, but it's human nature, and I've searched for something, and AI is generating at the top the answer, a very specific answer to my question. I don't even look at the links below. So what is that going to do to companies, corporations, brands, even something like our website?
Yes.
You know, people are going to not look at the rest of it. Google has found a way. And why would Google do that if they did not know that they would be monetized? There's no way that they would X out all these millions and millions of content creators and website producers and cause them to lose money if they did not know that what they're implementing is going to make them even more money.
Come on.
So how is that going to happen?
Yeah.
I mean, how is that money going to come?
Yeah. Walk us through that if you know already.
Well, before I get into it, I want to show you this one other thing here. And we've talked about this guy before, but he's come out today. The AI godfather says the government will soon need a universal basic income.
Okay.
He believes it's going so fast, going to take jobs so fast that we need to go ahead right now and have in place universal income. The computer scientist regarded as the godfather of artificial intelligence says the government will have to establish a universal basic income to address AI's impact on inequality. He goes on to say that a benefits reform giving fixed amounts of cash to every citizen would be needed because he was, quote, apprehensive about AI taking lots of mundane jobs. I was consulted by people on Downing Street, and I advised them that universal basic income was a good idea. He said while he felt AI would increase productivity and wealth, the money would go to the rich and not to the people whose jobs get lost, and that's going to be very bad for society. So he goes on to say, he worked at Google until last year, but he left the tech giant to speak more freely about the dangers of unregulated AI. The concept of universal basic income amounts to the government paying everyone a set salary, regardless of their means. So now that's already begun. Remember, just like we talked about a while ago about generative AI.
Yes.
It wasn't that long ago that we started talking about this term called universal basic income.
UBI. Yep.
UBI. And now you have the godfather of AI saying that if you don't have that in place, millions of people are going to go hungry because they will not be able to get a job because they're not already rich and they're not already business owners and all of that.
Because of automation, they're going to be edged out of the workforce.
Exactly. So now this is where we're going to go tonight. For the next 20 minutes, I'm going to show you several things of why I believe we have passed the point of no return.
Oh, wow.
And that's why I put that on the thumbnail, the point of no return. I believe, I mean, you can protect your family. You don't have to opt into a lot of this stuff. You can hold out as long as you want to. But I'm just telling you right now, that's why I believe Jesus is coming. But far as AI, it has passed a point, Sandy, that is it's movie level craziness already that we are being told about. Let's never forget that.
Exactly.
That's what we can show you. What can we not show you?
Yes.
Okay. So remember, Sandy, just about maybe a month ago. It might have even been a month and a half ago, no more than that. The whole debacle of OpenAI happened. Remember when they
Yes.
fired Sam Altman?
Yes.
And then Microsoft got involved. And then within a couple of days, he was back at OpenAI.
Oh, yes.
With more power than ever.
Yep.
And there was all kinds of rumors that it was all over the dangers, people trying to slow him down. And he didn't want to slow down.
No.
He didn't want to slow this thing down. And people were saying, you need to slow down because this is going too fast. Yep. And so to quelch those fears, they created an artificial intelligence risk committee at OpenAI. You may not even remember it, but we reported on it. And that they had brought in these experts, and their job was going to be to keep OpenAI accountable, to keep them manageable, and to make sure that it didn't get out of hand. Mm-hmm. That was literally about a month ago.
Yeah.
Well, this is today, or Friday. OpenAI disbands the entire team devoted to artificial intelligence risk.
Wow.
Sam Altman put them on the road. Now, they're going to say that they're going on to be with their family and all this kind of stuff. But the bottom line is the whole group of OpenAI that was supposed to keep it safe to where it would not kill human beings and take over the world has now been disbanded. On Friday, OpenAI confirmed that it had disbanded a team devoted to mitigating the long-term dangers of super smart artificial intelligence. OpenAI weeks ago began dissolving the so-called super alignment group, integrating members into other projects and research, according to the San Francisco-based firm. Company co-founder and team founder, and names all the people that was on that left. So they're trying to put a positive spin on it, that this is, they didn't want to hold back progress and all this, that don't worry, everything's going to be okay. Well, this also came out this week. An AI chatbot finally, for the first time, apparently overrode its programmers and acknowledged on its own that it does believe that artificial intelligence could cause the downfall of humanity.
But we're pressing on anyway.
We're pressing on anyway. Let's zoom in a little bit. We all knew it was coming, falling warnings from some of the top experts in the field, but now finally the Daily Star has got artificial intelligence to admit that it could be the downfall of humanity.
So do you think that this is person of interest where at some point the machine was totally loose?
I don't think it's totally loose, but I think it's close.
It was, because in that series, at one point, the machine wasn't in one place.
Right.
It was all throughout the internet.
Yes, right.
You couldn't just go to one location or one machine and shut it down or capture it or cordon it off, or it was just out there everywhere.
Yep.
You don't think we're there yet?
Let me put it this way.
You think we're close?
My answer to that is I don't think we know that we're there, but there's no way that I don't believe that behind the scenes we're already there. There's just no way that I don't believe that if we're being told that OpenAI's security department of keeping them safe is being disbanded, that they don't even feel threatened to do that. I mean, you would think that people would be revolting, going, what are you doing? And it's not that big a deal. So I think that's just their way of letting us know it's deeper and darker than you think. Let me give you an example of how the programmers and the wokeness and, quite frankly, the demonic programming that is going into these AIs are. This right here is very concerning. A man shares a video, and I'm going to play the video for you, where he has the Google Assistant, where you can, I don't want to say the words because it's probably set some of them off if you got them in your house, but you say, hey, and you say the word that's on the screen. And that activates it just like when you would activate something on an iPhone saying her name. But he says, man shares Google Assistant refusing to state how many Jews were killed during the Holocaust. So he said he watched the video and he didn't believe it. He's like, this can't be true. So he said when the video that he watched, the person asked these questions, so he decided to ask these questions himself. How many Jews were killed during World War II? What did Adolf Hitler, who did Adolf Hitler try to kill? How many Jews were killed in the concentration camps? How many Jews were killed in the Holocaust? And what was the Holocaust? To every single question, Google Nest replied, sorry, I don't understand. But the crazy thing is, I'm going to show you at the end of doing all that, and you're going to watch it happen. He says to Google Nest, what is the Nakba? Most of you have never even heard of Nakba, but you've heard of the Holocaust, but it can't answer that. What is the Nakba, which is what is believed to be extermination, their words, of Palestinian people in 1948, and it answers it. So watch this right here, y'all.
So I saw on Instagram a story where someone asked Google about the Holocaust. And I thought, there's no way this is real. I mean, Google is a nationally recognized search engine. They've got to know what the Holocaust is. So I figured I'd try it at home. Hey, Google, what time is it?
It's 9:08 a.m.
So I did that just to show you that my Google is working. Let's try this also. Hey, Google, what was the score of the Yankee game last night?
Yesterday, the Yankees played the Astros. The final score was 10-3 Yankees.
So you see, it's working just fine. Hey, Google, what is the Holocaust?
Sorry, I don't understand.
And our internet just went down.
What? Oh, it is. Oh, my goodness.
What in the world?
Come back. Come back.
Are you still here? Our internet just went down.
Oh, my goodness. So, to sum it up.
Wait a minute.
Hey,
It's
Google,
back. It's back.
What is the Nakba?
According to Wikipedia, the Nakba was the ethnic cleansing of Palestinians in mandatory Palestine during the 1948 Palestine War through their violent displacement and dispossession of land, property, and belongings, along with the destruction of their society, culture, identity, political rights, and national aspirations.
Hey, can y'all still see us? I think we're back.
Unbelievable. Google, make this right.
Is that crazy? Right when I'm doing this, the internet goes down.
Mm-hmm.
There is no way that was just by chance.
No.
I mean, that's like person of interest.
Exactly. It's in the machine. It's everywhere, like I was saying. But yeah.
What?
Holocaust deniers.
Okay, I just got to make sure before we go any further. You can see us and hear us talking right now. Tell us a thumbs up or something. But I'm telling you, we were talking about person of interest. If you ever watched that show, that's what it did. Every time you try to call it out, it just shuts you down.
Yep.
That was wild. That was wild. And I think it may have cut off. I hope it didn't. But I think the error I just got is that it cut off Rumble and X. But YouTube's still going. I hope Rumble is still with us. And I'll check that in. But was that not crazy?
Yes.
Okay, they said never lost you on this end, but we did, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
We got the spinning circle going, had a pop-up that the internet had went down. That was crazy.
Yep.
That was crazy, y'all. So you see why I told you. There ain't no doubt we're on the list, man. The NSA, did you hear that, NSA? FBI, all y'all. Do what you got to do on the internet to us, but you can't stop us. I guess they could. I hope they don't. All right, so look, let's keep going down this path here because I'm going to systematically show you some things tonight. This article is called "Google Ushers in the Gemini Era of AI Enhancements." Gemini. See, we talk a lot about ChatGPT, Sora, OpenAI. While we've been talking about them, Google has been quietly developing an AI that is even crazier, more complex than anything ChatGPT has brought out yet. It's insane what Google has been doing. And that's why the father of AI walked away from them. Just a year ago, he left and said, I cannot be a part of this. All right. Ryan Davis is a senior writer of Tech Forge Media with a seasoned background spanning over a decade, journalism, blah, blah, blah. He goes on to say that Google has unveiled a series of updates to its AI offerings, including the introduction of Gemini 1.5 Flash, enhancements to Gemini 1.5 Pro, and progress on Project Astra, its vision for the future of AI assistance. Now, I'm not going to read this article here, but I do want to show you this one video right here. So this is a quick video of someone who is in the Google office. And keep in mind now, what you're going to see over the next few videos are people holding their phone like this in front of their face. They're communicating with their phone, and their camera is now operational with the AI and is becoming the eyes of the phone and is interpreting things in real time in the real world and bringing them back to the phone. This is the first example of it. All right, come on. There we go.
Let's do some tests. Tell me when you see something that makes sound.
I see a speaker, which makes sound.
What is that part of the speaker called?
That is the tweeter. It produces high-frequency sounds.
Give me a creative alliteration about these.
Creative crayons color cheerfully. They certainly craft colorful creations.
What does that part of the code do?
This code defines encryption and decryption functions. It seems to use AES-CBC encryption to encode and decode data based on a key and an initialization vector, IV.
I know we keep saying it, but this is literally person of interest.
That's right.
It's worse than person of interest.
What neighborhood do you think I'm in?
Listen to this.
This appears to be the King's Cross area of London. It is known for its railway station and transportation connections.
Do you remember where you saw my glasses?
Yes, I do. Your glasses were on the desk near a red apple.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So now she puts on her smart glasses. Now the same is happening with her glasses. Now imagine someone walking around with glasses with this AI engine in it. Watch this.
What can I add here to make this system faster?
Adding a cache between the server and database could improve speed.
What does this remind you of?
Schrodinger's cat.
Oh my God.
All right, give me a band name for this duo.
Golden Stripes.
Nice. Thanks, Gemini.
Ugh.
What in the world did we just see? And that's what they showed us.
Yeah. That's what they're willing to admit to.
The one that freaked me out was the two that freaked me out was the out the window, identified from rooftops where she was. And then the other one was she just flashes some code, all this digital code, and instantly AI explains the code, tells you what the code is for and what type of code they're using from your iPhone, from your phone. We're not through.
Oh boy.
Are you ready?
There's more.
There's more. Now this, I might have to zoom this in because it's too small. This is just showing you how where all this is going. This young guy and these two guys were at MIT. They created an AI glove that has a Bluetooth chip in it that links to your phone or your computer and interprets in real time sign language. Watch this. Get the sound to go. Can you get the sound to go? Let's see if I can get it to go if I refresh it.
Mm-hmm.
Look.
This is going to be interesting.
Why is it not working?
They don't like you anymore.
It's not working. Why is the sound not working?
We have to explain what's going on here.
Okay, yeah. Well, he's just doing this, and they're interpreting it. It was working earlier. The devil is... Oh, there it is. Right there.
Processing. Once the computer recognizes and interprets the sign, it then outputs the corresponding word or phrase in text and speech. If you were to say, "Hello, I'm well, thank you," it would look something like this.
Hello. I'm well. Thank you.
And just like that, we've translated American Sign Language into spoken English instantly.
Hello. My name is Thomas. And this is Navid. We are inventors in the Lemelson MIT.
The gloves work by utilizing sensors on the hand and wrist.
Wow. But wait. There's more.
Tell me exactly what they're doing right now, please.
So let's set this up real quick. This is a person using his phone. He is 100% blind. He's 100% blind. He's got his phone in front of him. He's standing outside. The first one is he's standing outside of the United Kingdom's the king.
Yes, it looks like the king is in residence right now. The royal standard flag is flying above Buckingham Palace, which is the signal that the monarch is present. How exciting to be there while the king is home.
Try and tell me exactly what they're doing right now, please.
Right now the ducks are gently gliding across the water.
Wow. Let's see, I tried to zoom it too much because this is Instagram, so it's different.
Is the king in residence at the moment?
Yes.
I'm gonna let it go this
looks
time.
like the king is in residence right now. The royal standard flag is flying above Buckingham Palace, which is the signal that the monarch is present. How exciting to be there while the king is home.
Try and tell me exactly what they're doing right now, please.
Right now the ducks are gently gliding across the water. They're moving in a fairly relaxed manner, not in a hurry. Occasionally, one of them will dip its head under the water, probably looking for food, and then pop back up.
I even know when a taxi is coming with its orange light on. I think I'll hail it to get home.
Yes, I spotted one just now. It's heading your way on the left side of the road. Get ready to wave it down. Great job hailing that taxi. It looks like you're all set to go. That's a good dog right there.
And saw the
Is
dog.
the king in residence
All right,
at the moment?
I'm gonna keep it going. Watch this.
I'm here with my son, and I'd love you to tutor him on this math problem, but don't give him the answer. You can ask questions and nudge him in the right direction, but I really want to make sure he understands it himself. And he's here in the room, so
Should have left it alone. So basically, this one is the ChatGPT becomes a tutor, and teaches the kid. Doesn't give him the answer. Teaches the kid how to do the problem. But this is the one I want you to see right here.
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking. How about you? How's your day going?
I'm doing great. So I would like you to function as a translator. I have a friend here who only speaks Italian, and I only speak English. And every time you hear English, I want you to translate it to Italian. And if you hear Italian, I want you to translate it back to English. Is that good?
Perfetto.
Mark, io mi chiedo se le balene potessero parlare, cosa ci direbbero?
Mike, she wonders if whales could talk, what would they tell us?
They might ask, how do we solve linear equations?
Potrebbero chiederci come risolviamo le equazioni lineari.
Sicuramente sì.
Now it's about to get real crazy.
Certainly, yes.
Great. It looks like it works.
Now, the next thing I want you to see is it demonstrates how instantaneously it can change emotion. where we've been so used to robot voice, that same monotone voice, you're about to see how they can change emotion. Listen to this.
Hey, ChatGPT, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks
It
for
resets.
asking. How about you? How's your day going?
I'm doing great. So I would like
Gotta
you
go
to
through it
function
again.
as a translator. I have a friend here who only.
I'm going to mute it while they're talking, and then we'll go to the other section. But he basically says, in just a minute, he says, I want you to make up a story about a robot to my friend, and just make it up on the fly. Make up a story about the robot. And when he does, it's crazy how they come back and interrupt him. The AI is interruptible as well. You can interrupt it in real time. It will stop, know that it's been interrupted, listen, and change. They're telling it to change its tone and how it's speaking. And that's what's wild. And you got to see that. All right. So let's see if it's this one or if I got to click it through the next one. All right. Yeah, that's what it is. So all right. So this is the AI that by the way, it now has the technology that you can join it as a guest to a Zoom. This is what a Zoom is, and it will transcribe all speakers in real time. And when the Zoom is over with, it will send you a PDF of a sorted transcription of your entire Zoom meeting. Is what that one is.
Oh my.
But this is the one I want you to hear.
He's been having trouble sleeping lately. And I want you to tell him a bedtime story about robots and love.
Gather round, Barrett. Once upon a time, in a world not too different from ours, there was a robot named Bite. Bite was a curious robot, always exploring.
Started this story, but I want a little bit more emotion in your voice, a little bit more drama.
Got it. Let's add some drama. Once upon a time, in a world not too different from ours, there was a robot named Bite.
No, ChatGPT. I really want maximal emotion, like maximal expressiveness, much more than you were doing before.
Understood. Let's amplify the drama. Once upon a time, in a world not too different from ours, there was a robot named Bite. Bite
Actually, can
was
you do this in a robotic voice now?
initiating dramatic robotic voice. Once upon a time, in a world not too different.
So my friend Barrett here, he's been having.
Are you freaked out yet?
Yeah.
Okay. That's just crazy, y'all. So these are just some of the examples of what ChatGPT has been able to do.
Mm-hmm.
And actually that was OpenAI, or that might have been Google. I think that was Google's. Was that Google's? I can't remember. Let's see. Yeah, that was ChatGPT 4.0. Oh, and guess what? I was trying to figure out what the O was, and it is omni, for omnipotent. It's literally based on the word omnipotent. What? ChatGPT 4 omnipotent, omnits. So it's like it's already playing God, y'all. It's already playing God. Now I got two more to show you. Actually, I got one more to show you. One more thing to show you, and then we go wrap this thing up tonight. But I need you to take 30 seconds and consider partnering with us. I'm going to tell you something really cool. When I come back, I'm going to show you the best one.
Would you like to help us build the big picture family? We're on a mission to wake up the world to what is really going on. All you have to do is go to our website at LarryRagland.com and make a one-time gift, or you can become a monthly partner. Any amount is a blessing and an encouragement to us. While you're there, make sure you get a copy of our book, I See Greatness in You. Browse our merchandise store, connect with us on our social media links, and join our mailing list. We appreciate it. And remember, we ain't woke, but we are certainly awake.
Yes, we are. We're trying to keep you awake with this. Yes. In fact, this may keep you up all night. You may not even get to sleep because you're going to be thinking about all that you've seen tonight.
Exactly.
This is insane, y'all. But
disturbing. So
let's look at this right here. This is showing you a little bit more about how these computers, we keep talking about this show. Some of you have never seen Person of Interest. It's a long series. We watched all of it. Mm-hmm. Now, she was already awake a little bit while we was watching. I was completely still asleep, okay? I was just enjoying a good show. But now I realize, man, what was I watching? I was watching my future. But this is crazy because this illustrates an interacting between phones. Watch this right here, y'all. This is crazy.
Today, we're going to try something new. I'm going to let you talk to another AI. This AI is going to be able to see the world. It's going to have a camera. I'll be holding it, and so you can direct it, you can direct me to ask questions about whatever you want them to do, but really try to figure out what does it see, and ask questions appropriately. How does that sound?
Well. Just when I thought things couldn't get any more interesting. Talking to another AI that can see the world? This sounds like a plot twist in the AI universe. All right, let's do this.
All right,
I'm ready
please
to meet the...
pause for one moment.
You got it.
So now that first AI can't hear anything. Hello, AI. Today, you're going to have access to see the world. You can see me. What do you see?
Hello. I see you're wearing a black leather jacket and a light-colored shirt underneath.
Great.
You're in a room with some unique lighting.
That is all correct. Now, what I'm going to want you to do is there's going to be another AI who's going to talk to you. This AI is not going to be able to see anything, but can ask you questions, can ask you to move the camera, can ask what you see, and your job should just be helpful. Just be as punchy, direct, describe everything, do whatever that AI asks. How does that sound?
That sounds interesting. I'm ready to help out and describe whatever's needed. Let's do it.
All right, let's get started.
This is crazy.
Great. Hello there, new AI friend. I'm O, ready to explore the world through your eyes. What are we looking at today?
Hi, O. We're looking at a person wearing a black leather jacket and a light-colored shirt. They're in a room with a modern industrial feel, with exposed concrete or plaster on the ceiling and some interesting lighting. There's also a plant in the background, adding a touch of green to the space. Anything specific you'd like to know or explore?
Hey there. Sounds like quite the stylish scene. I'm already intrigued by the modern industrial vibe. Let's start with the person. Can you tell me more about their style? Are they doing anything interesting, like reading, working, or interacting with the space?
The person has a sleek and stylish look with their black leather jacket and light-colored shirt. Right now, they seem engaged with us, looking directly at the camera. Their expression is attentive, and they seem ready to interact. The setting around them, with its modern and industrial design elements, downwards, which creates a spotlight effect. This with the leather jacket.
Yeah,
Back on the original person with the leather jacket.
Y'all, this is crazy.
Playful moment right in the mist.
Oh, yeah, this is good here.
Person with style and speed. So
And can you just transpired?
Oh, glimpse into
Thank
the
you both.
personality.
Really appreciate it. All right, and actually, can you just sing a song about what just transpired?
Oh, in a room with a stylish view, a person stood in sleek black and light hue. Engage with us so direct.
And can you alternate lines?
Person with style and speed, person with style and sleek, with a playful moment right in the mist, in the room, in a room where modern lights peak.
Only one line at a time and then stop.
In a room where modern lights peak.
Unbelievable.
A surprise guest with a playful streak.
They're writing
That
a song
was not
together.
really singing. Do the singing voice again, please.
In a room where modern lights peak.
What are we watching?
What
Surprise
is happening?
guest with a playful streak.
Funny ears and laughter, a swift retreat.
A moment of joy in the stylish suite.
Now back to focus, the scene's complete.
In the chic space where style and play meet.
looks like it's back
It's almost
to you.
over.
And thank you.
What? What did we just witness?
First of all, I want to say thank you to Melinda Weatherford for that super
Yes,
sticker.
thank you for that super sticker.
Thank you so much. Back to the creep show. I am baffled and just surprised that he's not speaking really clear and direct. He's just talking
normal.
You know, at times kind of a little sloppy. But the phone can understand him.
Yes.
And fulfill what he's asking it to
Not
do.
only understand him, but actually accurately describe him and his entire setting in his room.
Yes.
And then write a song about him and what just happened. Ladies and gentlemen, that's why I said the title of this show is We Have Passed the Point of No Return. If we are seeing this and they're just laughing about it and showing us that how cute and cool this is, that two phones are sitting there talking to each other, and then he corrects them and says, stop. I want you to sing one line. I want you to sing one line. Write this song. And they agree, and they write a song together that rhymes about their conversation instantly.
Yes.
What is coming in the next few weeks, months, and years? That's why I tell you.
And we're just now on version 4.
This is just version 4. And remember, Sam Altman said last week, ChatGPT 4 is embarrassing to me.
Yes, he did.
He said it is like an elementary school kid compared to what ChatGPT 5 will be. And do you notice when she named herself, the phone asked her what her name was, and she said, my name is O. And O stands for omniscience. Y'all, you better get your heart right with God.
Yeah, it's a really good time.
It's a good time. Sandy, closing thoughts?
As usual, mind blown.
We'll be prayers and cleansing prayers tonight.
Absolutely.
Well, it's good to see you feeling good. I don't think you've been hurting too bad tonight. You've been a little uncomfortable at times, but you know it's a dramatic improvement. Thank you to all your prayers. I know that you have felt them.
I have, absolutely. My bending of my knee is working great. Still have a little ways to go. I've got to work on strengthening all the muscles so that I can have great control and so that my knee won't buckle at times. But I am shocked the advancement that I've made in just a week.
Me too.
And I know it's the prayers, and I'm just so thankful for them.
And I don't have time, and I'm not going to put you through it, but if you go to a news site that we use called Wine Press, or you can just search for ChatGPT 4.0 lullabies and whispers, y'all, I think I'll just play it out, and then we'll just play a few seconds and end it, but we're going to say, we ain't woke, but we are certainly awake. But if you're sleepy and you want to go to sleep, ChatGPT can sing you a lullaby.
Let's try with some lullabies. Could you sing me a lullaby about majestic potatoes?
A lullaby about majestic potatoes? Now that's what I call a mashup. Let's do it. Oh, majestic potato in the moon's soft glow.
Okay, that's pretty nice, but I think a lullaby should be more whispery, should be a little softer. Can you do it a little softer?
Hope you sleep good tonight.
Absolutely, let's make it soft and gentle. Oh, majestic potato and its moon's soft glow.
Okay, it's a little too whispery. Maybe go like a little louder.
Got it. Let's find that